Welcome to the UFW podcast with your host, Big Ike Johnson.
Hey, Big Ike Johnson here from UFW Lifestyle. I'm going to teach you how to be unfuckwithable. To be unfuckwithable, you have to learn how to generate, use, and direct your own personal power. Hey y'all, Ike here, Ike Johnson from UFW Lifestyle. In this episode, I'd like to talk a little bit about value. How you're valued, how you value others. And let's start with Valentine's Day because that's one day where we celebrate the value of a loved one. First, a little history here about Valentine's Day. Well, back in 83, Emperor Claudius had banned marriage because he thought married men were bad soldiers. Valentine, a priest, felt that this was unfair, so he broke the rules and married people in secret. When Claudius found out, Valentine was thrown in jail and sentenced to death. There, he fell in love with the jailer's daughter, and when he was taken to be killed on February 14th, he sent her a love letter signed, "From your Valentine." And Valentine, was honored by being a saint, and that's where he got St. Valentine's Day. Kind of a strange beginning to a day we celebrate love, but nevertheless, one way and the reason we celebrate love due to the sacrifice that Valentine's made for lovers. Now, I'm a spiritual person, so I like also to include a spiritual verse from the Bible. Matthew Chapter 6, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Question. What do you value? What do you place a value on? And more so, how deep is your commitment to what you value? We live in a visual world where imaging is very important to us. Let's say that you value your appearance and how others perceive you. In recent news, there are a few stories that you may be familiar with if you are an African American and if you shop in large retail stores like Gucci, Prada, and Walmart. First, Gucci. Gucci apologized and pulled from their shelves a blackface sweater that one would pull over their face, and the lips were these large red lips that were kind of caricatures of blackface in the mid-20s, 30s in America. And all the black people in America are very, very offended by those blackface caricatures. Gucci is a global brand, and a global brand may make mistakes, place on their shelves products that offend some of their customers. But to their credit, they decided to pull the product and apologize to their customers. Another case, Prada. Prada had a monkey keychains that had also blackface on them with big red lips. Again, to African Americans, very, very insensitive. They decided to pull those products. And in the case of Gucci and Prada, they decided to put together a campaign for diversity. Well, we can argue about how those products came about and who made those and who bought those. But the key point here is that somebody valued themselves enough to approach Gucci and tell Gucci that these products were offensive. And the same thing with Prada. These products were offensive. In the case of Gucci and Prada, they valued a portion of their customer base enough to decide to pull those products. Now Walmart. Walmart has made the decision in many cities around the country to lock up African American beauty products. For a lot of people, that's very offensive. That sends a bad message to African American customers where other products or beauty products used by other ethnicities was not locked up. So what do? Well, you can't handle it like some folks did in Atlanta. Those folks there protested, so Walmarts in Atlanta are no longer locking up their African American products behind glass or cages. Not so in other places, however. The key point here is this: what do you value, and how are you going to relate to people that value you differently than what you expect or desire? UFW Lifestyle's pillars are confidence, wealth, health, romance, and finance. We work and we live fearless, focused lives where we are unapologetic about using the power that we know that we all have. So 2 points here. How do you emotionally protect yourself from insensitive activities by retailers or other people? And how do you protest against them? Practice going to zero so that you're not swayed by each ill wind that blows your way. There are going to be ill winds. There are going to be insensitive people, retailers, stores, companies, whatever the case may be. But you don't have to be swayed by them so that you react. Go to zero. Going to zero is a mental and emotional practice where you are standing in the center of life's tornado. You do this by practicing breathing. Breathe in deeply, breathe out long. Breathe in deeply, breathe out long. What that will do is it will pull you mentally away from the tornado into a place where you are calm, where you can determine how you want to react or not react to a particular situation. There are several ways to protest these insensitive activities. You can boycott. You can write letters to the stores, retailers, or letters to your local representatives. You can march. But regardless of which one you choose, suit up first. Suit up means stir up the energy, stir up the power within you, and most importantly, visualize the outcome you want before you start. It's not enough just to protest and write letters. You must determine first the outcome that you want. Do you want to close down the store? Well, that may not be your best option if it's your only option. You may need to negotiate with that local retailer. Think about the option you want first. Suit up, stir up your energy, visualize the outcome, and then act upon it. Let's end with one of these suit up practices, affirmations. Affirmations are when we speak, and through our speech, things happen. So here's one for you. Repeat after me. I value myself, and I value those who value me. I value myself, and I value those who value me. With the lower, I value myself, and I value those who value me. I value myself, and I value those who value me. Ike Johnson, UFW Lifestyle, saying, I value you and I value me. Come see us at ufwlifestyle.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube as well too. I value you and I value those who value you. Bye now.
All I really want to see is the money. I don't really need a D, I need the money. All I bad need is a KC. Money. Money.
Thank you for listening to the UFW podcast with your host, Big Ike Johnson. Follow Big Ike Johnson at UFW Lifestyle on Instagram and Facebook. Find out more about the UFW lifestyle online. Visit ufwlifestyle.com for tips and tools that will help you to start living a life that is truly unfuckwithable. Bye now.